Hello, and a very, very good evening to you again tonight. It's great to be back once again live streaming from behind the piano. So, my name's Richard. We're just gathering really behind actually, I've got two pianos tonight. We've increased them. So, gathering around my multitude of instruments and just sharing some stories, inspirations, images, and really thoughts for the day. So, looking forward very much to meeting our virtual green room and seeing who's got some stories and things to share out tonight. I can see that we've got quite an interesting set of images already in the green room, so I'm looking forward to finding out where in the world we're going to go tonight. But very first, I thought I'd kick off this evening with a bit of funky improvisation for us guys. So enjoy. So there we go. There's a bit of a different start. I thought I'd try a little bit of adding some more instruments into behind the piano this evening. So as we're going through the week, I did say that I was going to try and bring a few more things together, and I'm going to keep giving that a go. And as the weeks go on, I reckon the instruments are going to build up around me, and I'll see what I can produce. That's the joys of lockdown. This is what happens if you leave me to my own devices too much in the same confined room. Stuff happens. But so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And thank you for joining me. If you've joined me on the live stream, especially over the last few weeks, it's been great to sort of hear from you and hear your comments and everything, and see what inspires you, and to kind of give me feedback and keep us going here. I know that the team has really appreciated that as well. So if you are listening or watching tonight, do drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought of that inspiration, that improvisation this evening, and do drop us some images, or share some thoughts with us tonight, because we'd love to kind of chat to you, and that'd be great. In the green room tonight, I've got I know I've got Peter again, but firstly, I wonder if I could jump across and say a very good evening to Paul tonight, because Paul, I didn't get to speak to you very much yesterday at all, and I'm sorry about that. I thought I'd come to you straight away tonight and see how your week was going. Really.
Oh, it's going very well so far. Yeah, so there's not a lot happening at the moment, and the bird here is driving me up the wall because
Sorry, go on, Paul.
she's she thinks she's a monkey instead of being a bird. She's going round. She's going round on her swing about 2 or 3 times. She's knocking herself off. Yeah.
Brilliant. And is it a cockatiel you've got, Paul?
Cockatiel.
It is a cockatiel. I did remember that right. Brilliant. Because yesterday we had a bit of an incident before we went live on the stream last night, and we were all gathered ready to go, and all of a sudden Sam had to disappear very quickly. And I don't know if I can jump across and ask Sam what happened. You might be able to fill us in a little bit, Sam, on what went wrong.
Hello. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's absolutely fair enough. I know you had your parrot on your arm yesterday, and I was told, you see, that what happened was a bit of an accident before the stream happened.
Yeah, there was a stream before the stream. My parrot, he doesn't quite understand boundaries and where things come from, and things like ownership, who bought what. So I think he sees everything before him, and I think ownership for him is whether he can fight for something. So anyway, I had my mug of tea out ready to drink, and he sort of hops on it, and then sort of lets out the last thing that you want to be in your tea sort of comes out of him and lands plonk in the middle of it. So that was a slight unexpected turn to the evening.
Does it happen often, Sam? I know you and your parrot have got this kind of love-hate relationship going with
He's quite good at aiming, but this is the first time he's ever got it in my drink.
Yeah.
Usually it's down the back of something, and you don't notice it for a little while. But, yeah.
Paul, is this something that's happened to? Is this a problem that you've had with your cockatiel?
She does. Yeah. Well, she doesn't do as she does. When she comes out, you've got to wear a crash helmet. Put it that way, because she doesn't care where she goes. Let's put it that way.
Well, I remember you got her out a couple of weeks ago, and she flew around the place. I won't ask you to do that again because you might not get her back in.
She goes back in on her own.
Really?
On her own, goes back on her own. She got a place to herself here. Even the windows open, she'd have got no interest in going out of it.
Really? You can open your windows and she won't fly out?
The windows are open now. And she was out twice today. She can go nowhere near them. I won't
Really?
trust it. Yeah. Yeah, I've been putting some bulbs in, digging up the garden, do some gardening as well. And I've had a constant email from the ones on Brownsea Island. Is closed now until next year.
Oh,
Normally
right.
from March to November. They've decided that's it. They're going to close now until the beginning of next year when they start again.
Oh,
Which is
dear.
a shame, but that goes.
Well, I suppose it was almost not wasn't quite unexpected that, and we saw the Red Squirrels from Brownsea Island yesterday, didn't we? Because Stephanie shared one of her photos with us on that.
Yeah,
That was great to see. So at least the squirrels be safe for another year.
at least they're multiplying now. They
Yeah.
get counted each year, and they've got about 500 of them on the island at the moment.
Oh, brilliant! Really, 500. That's a lot of squirrels.
Yeah, well, they've been breeding a lot because they've got all the place to themselves.
Fantastic.
And also the lizards I seen you shown yesterday, they got them over there, and that's unusual for them because they don't like that. They don't like it there. They like it in the woody side.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Well, Paul, thank you for that. If you've got any pictures, this sounds really weird. I can't believe I'm going to say this on stream. If you've got any pictures of squirrels, feel free to share them. Toby, can I say that on the stream? That's not right, is it? Apparently, I can say what I like, but I don't think. Yeah, so I tell you what, if you've got any interesting pictures of wildlife, and we were saying earlier in the week that wildlife, I think that was the word I was looking for, rather than just squirrels down in general. If you've got any pictures of wildlife out and about that you'd like to share with us, that would be fantastic because I have seen several viral videos of various different wildlife getting in the streets because obviously there are less people out there and they've got less. They're obviously not being sort of maybe shepherded out of the way. I'm really struggling for words tonight, if I'm quite honest. I'm not doing very good at this whole presenting host thing. I feel like I should be a bit more on the ball. So apologies for that. But if you could help me out with the words as well, it would be fantastic. If you want to drop me a comment of lines that I should be reading out and saying on air, that'd be great as well. So maybe we should probably do that. So yeah, do drop a photo or some stories in of wildlife, and then we can share them out. Remember last week we shared out the badger who was in Sheffield Station, and that was great to see. Because I'm a big fan of wildlife, and I like the fact that they get to do that. But talking of wildlife, I know that I've got Peter in the green room, and I can say a very good evening to Peter because Peter has dropped across a video to us, and I don't know if it's not really correct to say that lobsters are wildlife, is it, Peter? Oh, I've got a bit of a sound issue there with Peter, and I can see he's not muted, so I don't know what that is. I wonder if I can jump back across to Sam while we fix that and see if we can help him out. Sam, we've been experimenting a little bit today with various things, and I'm quite excited to see what we're doing. One of the things is about it's getting this remote working across some streams, and we've had some really good conversations today. And I've discovered that you're particularly good at answering very random questions because basically we've sat on the end of streams simply asking each other questions and trying to pretend to be interviewers. How have you found that today, Sam?
Yeah, it's good. I feel like my mind likes to jump from this way to this place to this place. It's not very good at seeing what's ahead of it. It kind of starts chasing its own tail. So yeah, it's good to be in a place where that can fully be appreciated and allowed to flourish.
I mean, it's good, really, because I like watching your thought process. Because I like give you I might say, Sam, what's your favourite colour? And you've very naturally kind of then gone, well, my favourite colour might be. I mean, let's experiment with this on air, Sam, shall we? Sam, what's your favourite colour?
Well, my favourite colour is blue, because blue reminds me of all the times that I stared at the sun too much and my eyes started streaming. And I used to collect the tears in a little jar. And I go to various markets. I think Wimborne Market was one of the ones I frequented most. And I'd sell these little jars of tears to people. Unfortunately, people wouldn't buy them because they didn't quite know what the liquid was. It was quite clear. So I started dyeing the little jars of tears blue, which seemed to make them more sellable. And it was through this that I managed to turn over a profit and become the self-made man that I am today. So yeah, that's an example of if you give me some inspiration, that's where my brain can go. What about you? Where can your brain go?
You're really good at this kind of like interplay on the whole take a word and then go off down an avenue and explore it. I love it. I mean, we could try this. I think I've got some sound back from Peter. I wonder if I could jump across to Peter. And Peter, maybe you could ask Sam a question.
Yeah, I think I've got terrible delay on here, so I can't hear you and speak at the same time because we're overlapping each other. So can I just talk for about 3 minutes without you asking a question? If that's okay, give me a thumbs up, because and if you can hear me.
I mean, go for it, Peter. Take your
that's excellent. I can see your thumb. I can see you in real time, but I can't hear you at the same time. So I was out on the West Cliff today, and I noticed there's a wonderful the breeze is blowing, and I thought just how wonderful the wind is when you're indoors all day. You just love to feel the wind. It's a very visceral experience, because you feel the wind all over you. It can blow you, in a really strong wind. We're meant to get strong wind later on tonight. It can actually knock you over. And it was a gentle breeze this afternoon. As I say, it's going to build up later on. But we love the wind, and we love feeling that the wind on our face, and how it kind of completely embraces you. And then you go in and you love hearing the wind rattling the windows, well, depending on whether your windows are tight or not, but and you feel inside, you feel cozy. The wind is a great thing. And I was what it made me think of is that I used to work on a pig farm, and one of the great things is that people say that pigs can see the wind, and it's true. Pigs do operate in quite different ways when the wind is blowing, and they're meant to gather up straw to make nests when the wind is blowing. So and there's a lot of theories about whether the pigs can see the wind or not, and one of which is that they have very sensitive eyelashes, and the eyelashes can actually will pick up the wind and will flutter in front of their eyes, and so they can actually see the wind. They're meant to see the wind as red. There is a scientific explanation to do with ozone and ions in the air caused by the wind. But for myself, pigs are extremely sensitive and intelligent creatures. They are probably more intelligent than dogs. And they love being talked to, and you could go along and talk to pigs and they'd all listen attentively. But they are very, very sensitive. They have this wonderful sensitive skin, and if you want to make friends with a pig, you just scratch its back and they'll just fall down in. So I've got a feeling that's something to do with it. The pigs love the wind. And are you signaling to me? You kind of know. I'll keep talking. Have we gone offline? Anyway, so so pigs can see the wind. But also when I've done some teaching, every teacher knows that children are affected by the wind. And on a windy day, children become completely unmanageable and kind of quite inattentive. The wind is one of the great things of nature. Do you remember back in January, and we had high winds and floods? It's all gone. We've forgotten completely the winds of January and February because we've kind of got other things to think about. But I just think it's a great thing to be able to go out and just stand and feel the wind on your face. It's free and you become part of nature. Finished.
Brilliant, Peter. It's fantastic. I really appreciate that because you're absolutely right. And the wind is one of those things that you don't forget, but yeah, you probably do forget a little bit, in fairness. Because just hearing you speak, I suddenly realised that I can't remember the last time I actually really felt proper wind on my, as I went outside. So you're absolutely right to say that, and it has brought, it made me think quite a lot actually about that. So thank you for sharing those thoughts with us tonight. It's a pity that you can't hear us in real time and we can't have a bit more of a conversation, because I would have liked to maybe have come back and asked you a bit more about that. But that's one of the testaments, I think, about what we're doing. We actually were talking about this quite a bit today, in that obviously we're in the same position as everybody else, and the whole thing we're trying to do here is facilitated remotely. Now, in a moment, I'm going to jump across and say hi to Arthur in Prague, and I can see that online he's ready and or getting ready to come onto the stream. But it's very difficult to kind of communicate. Obviously, because we're all remotely, and there's normally you'd have a producer, you just wave and somebody would give you a thumbs up, but this is really very, very tricky. But I wonder if I could probably jump across and say hi to Arthur in Prague now, because I can see he's looking on the screen. And Arthur, a very, very good evening to you in Prague. Can you hear me okay? Is everything going well in Prague? Fantastic.
Yeah, I can hear you okay, that's fine, yeah.
Brilliant.
It's I'm trying something new tonight. We're doing a little bit of a mobile broadcast here. See what's going on.
Fantastic. Well, the lighting looks good. I can see a little. It's not as dark in the Paliarca tonight, so maybe.
No, it's not as dark. It's not as dark because I was going to show you something.
Oh,
I have
if you can.
A wonderful piece of artwork here by Gabby, who's going to explain what it means. Do you want to see it?
Yes, please. That'd be fantastic.
Can you see that?
I can. This isn't the first time I've seen Gabby's art, actually. I've been obviously friends on Facebook with her, and she's been posting up recently. And it's really cool to see, actually. I really, please do tell her. I know she's been going around the back behind you, but please tell her that I really like her pictures. They're really cool.
I think if we speak to her nicely, she might come and say hi.
Absolutely, that'd be brilliant.
She would love to come and say hi, wouldn't she?
Don't force me.
Well, tell you
Hi,
what, Arthur. Hello, Gabby. You can hear me.
Today. Hi, Richard. I don't know where am I. You can't say you can't see anything. There's your finger, but thank you.
You could only see my finger, apparently.
You could, yes, for a time.
Can you see now? Can you see now?
There's Gabby. Yes, I can. Hi, Gabby. Very good evening to you.
Say hi.
Hi, Richard.
This is great.
I think Gabby wants to talk about her favourite picture. Look, here's her favourite picture. I'm sure she's going to tell you about.
Actually, it's not my favorite picture. Oh. It's people's favorite picture from me.
Can you see it?
Wait, I have to deal with it.
Okay, there's an issue to be dealt with here.
That's fine. What I'm going to jump across and do is, Arthur, because Peter, what I was hoping to talk to Peter a little bit more about tonight, he's sent us in his latest YouTube video. So I know, and I've seen on the thumbnail that there's some lobsters involved. So I'm going to jump across. I'm going to play that out, and when we've watched that, we'll come back and say hi to you guys in Prague again once more, and see if
Okay, that sounds great, Richard. That sounds
we'll
great.
join you in just a moment. See you in a moment.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, so as you know, we've been saying to people, please do send in your comments, stories, inspirations for us to sort of chat about, and to kind of keep us interested and keep us going here. Now, Peter's been doing a series of YouTube videos. Do go onto his YouTube link, which is youtube.com/Peter John Cooper, and have a look for more of them. And quite often we've been showing these out on the stream because they're great. Give us a bit of insight into what goes on during the day in the life of Peter John Cooper, which I find fascinating. So this is a clip. This is called Life in Lockdown, and I should be able to play this out now from Peter's YouTube channel. So here we are, Life in Lockdown. It's entitled Plinth Horror. Now, I haven't seen this, so I'm looking forward to finding out what it's all about. Okay, unfortunately, we're having a few issues with the sound on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that. I'm going to kind of come back to that hopefully, and we'll try and fix the sound issues a bit later. So apologies for that. I'm not too sure why that is like that, but we'll figure that out. So we'll come back to that shortly. Sam, can I jump across to you and say hi again? Because just moments before we talked to Peter about his wind, which I can say. We were talking a little bit about jumping between conversations and taking phrases and kind of running with them. And I was hoping that Peter would actually come back to you with a phrase and maybe ask you about wind. So I could, obviously you heard what Peter said. What's your take on all of that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I did experience some intense wind once. For myself, it was a rather exuberant experience. It was me and my brother were hiking in the Himalayas, and it was this really remote place. It was probably the most remote place I've been, and we were hiking between village, and we'd stay the night with different families, and they'd give them a bit of money, and they'd cook for us. And anyway, it was in the middle of nowhere. It kind of looked like Mars. But we got to the top of this hill, and there was so much wind up there that we were kind of surrounded by this massive bowl of mountains just stretching for like as far as you could see. And this sort of hill was in the middle of it, and we were just being buffeted by this huge force just flying past you. So we thought it would be a good idea if we, I think we felt quite free in the moment, so we decided to act upon that, and ended up removing most of our clothes and sprinting down this hill. So that was whilst the wind sort of buffeted us. That was quite an intense experience with wind. But yeah, that's what comes to mind when What about yourself?
Well, the problem is when you start talking about wind, my childish brain just immediately goes elsewhere. So I can't really. I'm struggling to think of any sort of sensible suggestions about wind. Because even if I say, I say to Peter that really it was the absence of wind I was really sort of connotating to, but that brings with itself a huge amount of connotations as well. So.
That's the film. What's it? It's not called The End of the World. It's something like that. It's the whole. I think it's wind stops and then the whole world seems to freeze over. I think scientifically everyone would die if the whole world, if wind stopped, because everything would suddenly freeze. I think. Yeah, you might.
Don't hold you to it. Though.
Yeah. And that's. I think what the film is about. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I've just been trying to work out how to get some sound back onto Peter's YouTube.
I'm back. I'm
Yeah,
back.
Peter's back. So brilliant. So I'll tell you what, I will jump across to Peter and say hi because I'm interested to know maybe a bit of the backstory about this YouTube clip, Peter, because that's what I would have asked you before. So I think you've been getting fancy with some fancy graphics here as well, from what I can tell. So what's the backstory behind this?
Well, the video,
yes, which we haven't seen yet, unfortunately. So we haven't.
Have you not?
We haven't got some sound, but we're going to play it out in just a moment. So while we get the sound ready for that,
that's extremely what's the name of you? Yeah, it's I mean, it's what happens when you're in lockdown, and you just you end up just making videos all over the place. Is that your phone? Have you got to go somewhere?
Yes, I'm all over the place. Tonight is.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, I just I don't usually make those sort of. Oh yes, I do. I make silly films because I'm not a professional filmmaker. I'm just a hobbyist, but you end up using everything you've got at your command, and extremely high tech puppetry and all of that sort of stuff. So if you can play it, everybody will understand. It's kind of got the special effects of Star Wars, I think,
Brilliant.
In a short time. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. That's good. And I was saying before that one of the problems with lockdown is that everything is remote. So we're trying to facilitate everything remotely, and this is quite an issue because it's great when everything works really, really well. But you get one single issue, like there could be a bit of delay, there could be a little bit of a problem with the audio somewhere, or somebody just simply throws in something and it doesn't. It's just slightly different to what you're normally used to, and the whole thing doesn't work. So it's really posing quite a lot of challenges, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this stream, was so that when we come out of lockdown, we're going to have all of these problems really, really very ironed out, and it's quite exciting actually to see this all come together. Because normally, sort of basic IT stuff is quite easy to do remotely, but when you start talking about sort of complicated audio-visual setups, it's really quite a different animal. Especially when you're also presenting at the same time. So it's really quite interesting, and you find out how your kit that you have works in very different ways. Sometimes what it says in the manual isn't actually what it does in real life, and sometimes when what it does in real life is more than you expected it to. I mean, over the last few weeks, I've learned so many more things about the kit that we've got just because we've had the time to sit down and kind of play with them. So I think we should be able to jump across and watch Life in Lockdown now with some sound, which I'm quite excited about actually, because I haven't seen this. And I do like Peter's short films. He says he's not a professional film editor. Well, I don't think that really matters, to be honest, because he makes entertaining films, and that's all that really counts. So let's watch Life in Lockdown then.
Aliens? We're not aliens. We're from Bournemouth. I am Plinth, commander of this planet. Guards, get them. Quick, leg it. You will not escape me. Not so fast, Plinth, you bully. Arr! It is my nemesis, Dame Sybil Thorndyke. Take that, Plinth. Gruel, not the face. And that. I'm still standing. Not for long. Come with me. Quickly, the whole planet's about to blow. Come back! Well, thank you, Dame Sybil. All in a day's work. Home, sweet home. I could do with a cuppa. Oh, better put the kettle on then.
Well, that's what I love about this, Peter, because these are as entertaining to me here as they are to everybody else, actually. Because it's like normally I feel like you'd be you're putting together like a TV program or a stream or something, and you know exactly what all the content is, and this is as entertaining to watch the stream and be part of it as it is to be on the other side. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, yes, there might not be another one of those for quite a time. They take a huge amount of time to do. I mean, it takes longer to make them look a bit sort of as though they're made up in the playground. It takes longer to do that than just to do it properly.
Yeah, that's what we found as well.
Still,
brilliant.
I hope it brings a smile to somebody's lips. That's all we can do at the
Definitely.
moment.
I didn't expect you to get so much use out of those lobsters. But is Dame Sybil part of your collection?
Dame Sybil Thorndyke? No. I mean, well, you saw the other night where I introduced you to Plinth the teddy.
Yes. Well,
that's
actually,
if
yes.
you-
Actually, the viewers won't have seen that. I say the viewers.
No,
makes
no.
that very BBC. Oh, yes, the
I mean, the
viewers.
characters. I mean, I could do one of those, behind the scenes films where I bring you the characters. This is Dame Sybil, who
Brilliant.
is.
She's still got the twine around her.
The trouble with Dame Sybil was trying to get her to face front in front of the camera. She would do that.
Yeah, you would have been quicker to animate the whole thing, really.
It's because I've discovered something about puppetry is that string will unwind, so any puppet suspended on string will always rotate.
Yes,
So-
but that kind of added a little bit to the drama, especially when you're punching Plinth. So you got some good rotation out of that.
Took me ages to get her to do that. It was against her principles to punch somebody, but.
Well, amazing. Well, thank you, Peter, again, and it's good to be able to chat again because I was a bit worried when we couldn't chat and you had to.
Yeah, I discovered I must have had an update this afternoon, and it reset my settings, and I had to go back in and just reset. A 21st century problem.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, what you need is a
20th
redundant
century.
system. You need several because the stream is so important that we need to set you up some backup plans. We definitely need an alternative computer, so that you can probably just redo your whole network and double it up. Really, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty well set. I've got quite a good thing. It's just that Microsoft, I'm a Microsoft person, will update your equipment at irregular intervals, and you suddenly find yourself without a sound part of the deal. Anyway, not important. Not important.
Well, talking about sound and deals as well, I can see that Arthur is over in Prague, and we were going to speak to Gabby and see that, but I can see actually Arthur's got quite a spectacular background in the back of where he is in location. So Arthur, very good to see you again.
Hi, Richard. Hi.
You're outside now.
Yes, I'm outside now. Yeah.
This
There's
is the
house
Patriarcha
over the road. Yes, and there's extensive gardens here. Do you want to see?
Yes, please do.
I mean, it's fantastic, really. Look.
Are we going to come back into? I think you might have
That's
frozen.
amazing.
Oh, there we are. Oh, go on. I think you've come back into frame now. Let's.
I don't know. Well, that's the garden. So.
Fantastic.
And here there's a lot of strange wild animals as well that live out in the Czech Republic. Yeah? Do you want to see one?
Absolutely. Well, we've been talking about wildlife on the stream tonight, so yeah, please do. Oh.
Yeah. It's called a medvay here. It's Hans the bear, Hans a medvay. Yeah.
Oh,
Aren't you? You're Czech, aren't you? I know. I'm Czech. I know. Some Czech. So there you go. You see.
What you've just done there is you've made a check-in joke.
It's a Czech-in joke, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So look, we've got a visitor here. Look, can you see?
Oh,
This is what they look like out
the outside
in the
world.
wild.
Brilliant. That's a wild Czech. Very good evening to you, sir.
Yeah. And he's behind bars. He has to be behind bars.
Yeah, I see. I took some.
The question
there we
is
go.
he behind bars?
So,
or is
right,
it
well,
you that's
anyway,
behind bars?
I'll just... Well, a bit of both, really, to be honest. The bars aren't open yet because of the lockdown. Yeah. So,
yeah, well, that's what we're all waiting for to open again.
Anyway, Hamza Medvay is coming inside now.
Brilliant. You've got some
And
music.
he can
Have you got
see
some
his
music going
friends.
on?
Here's his friends. Oh yeah, there's all sorts going on tonight. There's some music in here. Hamza Medway's if we turn around here, we've got some music going on in here too.
Nice.
See these guys? They're practicing it.
Brilliant.
So maybe they give you a full concert at some point.
So this is cool because am I right in saying you guys can now meet in groups of 10 in the Czech Republic? Is that true?
That's right, yeah. So things are coming back to life. I'm trying to turn the camera back on me, but it's not behaving itself.
That's okay. It's really cool to see this is like we're seeing inside the end of or the beginnings of the end of lockdown for the Czech Republic. Then this is really very exciting and very encouraging to see from our point of view.
Yes, that's right. We're hoping that at the end somebody tidies this place up. But it's got another little while to go. So they're practicing getting ready. Yeah?
Brilliant.
And I can't turn the camera back onto me, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
Another gremlin on your program tonight.
Don't worry.
I could turn it round. Can you see me there?
Yeah, there we are. Brilliant.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
That's well, it's one of those evenings, isn't it? It's fine, but it's great to see you, and it's great that you've got your roving kind of reporter going because this is cool as well.
Okay, I'll have to go now because I've got to let this poor chap in, yeah, because he's locked out.
He's still there. Brilliant. How long can we keep him out there? This is like some sort of game.
He wants to come in, but he's not allowed in because it's locked out. Anyway, I'll let him. I'll say goodbye now, Richard, and we'll have another episode another evening.
Brilliant. All right. Well, great to see you, Arthur, and your friend out on the other side of the bars. There he is. I mean, the more I talk,
Sasha. Yeah, he'll play the guitar for you one night, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, fantastic. Well, it's good to see Sasha. Great, fantastic.
Okay,
well, enjoy the rest of the evening. Very good. Good to see you again. We'll see you soon.
Okay then. Bye.
Right. Cheers, Arthur. Bye. So, Sam, tomorrow night we've got a special. We've got a very special concert again tomorrow here because we're not doing Behind the Piano, and we've been plugging away at this. But could you maybe tell us what we're going to expect to see tomorrow night very quickly?
So tomorrow we have another performance from Stephanie Liney. She's a classically trained harpist, cellist, and pianist, and she's going to be performing some medieval and Renaissance style pieces on harp for us. So if you want to tune in for that, it's 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll put a link and in the comments for you, and you can tune in. You can tune in at 6:30 tomorrow if you want to hear that. We had her on last week. She performed some more Celtic style harp. That was really nice. I think we'd had a fairly up and down week, so it was nice to have something soothing. She's back at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. So I'll pop the link in the comments for you, and you can tune in tomorrow.
Brilliant. Well, I really look forward to that. I know that I did speak to somebody yesterday who said that they'd shared the link out from Stephanie's concert last week and simply had it on as background music because it was just really relaxing. So I'd encourage you, if you're looking for something relaxing to chill out tomorrow evening too, tune in. I'm not too sure what the word for streaming is. I don't feel like it is something you tune into, but log in maybe, get online and put up the video and do join us live because Stephanie will be performing once again, and that'll be great. And then on Friday, I have a feeling that the weather's looking pretty bleak actually again, so whether I'll be on the balcony or not remains to be seen, but we'll certainly be bringing you some more live electronic music on Friday night as we go into the weekend. So I'm looking forward to performing that and trying out some new styles and new stuff this Friday for you. So we're coming to the end of our live stream session tonight, but it's been really, really good to sort of get online and see what's been going on. We've jumped across to Prague to find out what is happening in the Czech Republic with lockdown, and it's exciting because they're now allowed to meet with just 10 people together in groups of 10. That's really exciting and really encouraging because it shows us where we might end up in a few weeks' time when we hopefully come out of lockdown ourselves in the UK. We've also seen inside the mind of Peter John Cooper, which has been great because it always lifts us when we see what Peter's been up to in his spare time, because quite frankly we should never really give that man too much time because otherwise he comes up with lobsters, crazy planets and all sorts of weird and wonderful stories, and that was great to see. And I'm intrigued and looking forward to the next episode that Peter presents us with on that. Also good to chat to Paul about his pet cockatiel and find out really what's been going on with him during the week. That's been great. So I'm going to end tonight with just a short improvisation again on the piano for you as we kind of journey into the rest of Wednesday evening. There's a way to wind down our live streaming sessions for this week. So looking forward very much to seeing Stephanie perform Songs of the Seals again on Celtic Harp tomorrow night. So if you are around tomorrow evening, do join us or catch the live video on the replay. But I've been Richard, and I've really enjoyed live streaming tonight from behind the piano. So have a really good rest of the evening and enjoy the rest of the night.